What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Unborn Podcast, episode number 10. I am your host, Nestor, a.k.a. Next Level OC. If you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and follow me now. Today, I brought you a special guest, making his way all the way from Norwalk, originally from the Bay Area.
Yee.
Today, your host,
P.B.P.
P.B.P.
Yeah, painting bigger pictures. We out here, baby. What's up? Representing all
What's
the
up,
way.
man?
Oh, what's up,
Yeah.
bro? We all the way from NorCal. We're down here. We're living in L.A. now, so we got some good motion.
Goddamn.
You hit me up on the DM, and I saw it was actually it came into my request box, and I was like, I got to get better at that. So I saw that and I checked it.
Yeah, have you noticed that when people try to hit you up, it's mostly on the request? It's not, obviously, it doesn't,
I don't know. Well,
it
you
doesn't
got
show
to
up in a
mutually
priority.
follow each other. So
Yeah.
that's the thing too. You can't just you got to check everything, man.
Of course.
I've been better at that. It's actually I've gotten a lot of opportunities. So I mean, like, check your inboxes, people. Like, straight up, don't be like T-Pain and go years without checking your Instagram request box.
You heard that, T-Pain?
Yeah. Hey, I shout out T-Pain though. That Nappy Boy podcast.
There you go.
I love that.
Nappy Boy.
Oh, that's a good. Hey, we get inspiration from a lot of people, man. Like, it's fun what we do. Like, we're interview people, like.
No, yeah, and I don't mean to stop you right
Yeah.
there, man. And that's why I'm excited for this podcast. This gentleman here has been in the industry for about 3 years. He has his own radio station. He's going to go live pretty soon. We'll touch some details on that as well.
Yes.
So we're kind of in the same industry, and that's why I'm excited. I got some questions for those that are trying to start their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much going to answer some of your questions here.
We'll give you $1 million worth of game because I'm feeling pretty curious and
So-
generous.
So I know that right now you are in Norwalk,
Yeah,
right?
I'm based in Norwalk. Yeah.
But you shout out the Bay. Talk a little bit about that, man. How was your upbringing? How did music got introduced to you? And all that.
for
Touch a
sure.
little bit on that.
So my upbringing, I was born in Santa Rosa, California, which is in the North Bay of the Bay Area, the
I got-
707.
I got family there.
If we're all familiar, E40 from the 707, Mac Dre, La Russell, Nefta Pharaoh, just some cats to shout out. I was born in Santa Rosa, but then I moved just a little bit farther up north into Mendocino County.
Okay.
And I grew up there in a more wilderness type environment.
Interesting. So nothing close to a city or anything like that?
No, like a small town, bro. And
Okay.
right now, it's actually growing right now,
Okay.
exponentially. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. We won't get too deep into it. But when I grew up, there was 500 people there.
Oh, damn.
And I come from a community where, like, everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
Like, when you drive down the road, you wave.
Yeah, it's expected. Yeah.
So there's a lot of culture and there's a lot of, community involved. And then with the music, for me, my parents, my dad's a baby boomer and my mom was born in the 60s.
Okay.
So my dad was more of like a 60s, 70s kind of psychedelic rock, being from San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Grateful Dead, Jimi Hendrix. And then my mom, she was more 80s, like hair metal. So I got a lot of inspiration from a lot of genres of music, but my mom and dad let me freely kind of choose what music I wanted. And coincidentally, around the time when I was becoming more conscious as a small boy, about
Yeah.
5 or 6, I found MTV. And then I started listening to like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Everyone seems like, my age starts with that. And then I found Eminem, of course. And I didn't really, that was the only access I had to music was on that little small top 20 countdown.
Yeah.
I didn't have like CD players. I didn't have MP3 players. I didn't have computers to do LimeWire and
Yeah.
crash the
All
family
that.
computer.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of that. So then the only other time I could get music then from that was my buddy Elliot, shout out Superstar. He would take his sister's iPod and we would listen to Afro Man, D12,
Damn.
Eminem,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he would bring it. We would take turns on the bus with the old iPod Classic, that big old honking iPod Classic.
For those that remember that?
Yeah, and we would all take turns on the bus. He would
Yeah.
give everyone a song.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
then from there, I saw what hip hop was starting to do because honestly, like every kid was talking about it type thing. And then it was like about 2 years of that. And then 2004, my mom and dad got DirecTV. So then I got more access to VH1.
Yeah.
I got access to MTV and all those music stations. Still didn't have access to the internet. So TV, like, if you guys are watching, if you can remember this, that's how you got your music, and you would see commercials for albums.
Exactly.
And then you would go to Best Buy, and you would go buy a CD and be super excited. Like I can.
Do you remember those? I'm sorry to cut you out.
Yeah.
I don't know for those that remember. In order for us to listen to new music or a music video, you had to wait a certain date.
Yep.
Until the music video actually dropped. Exactly.
It wasn't this flood drop like they do now. Like,
Yeah.
drop your content, which I kudos anybody that can push out content as quick as they do.
Yeah.
That's really an art and a skill. But back on track here, I got MTV, so I got more into hip-hop, like really into the whole, Aftermath, Shady Records, what was that, like Ludacris.
Shout out to Luda. God damn.
That Red Light District album.
That shit was dope.
This is '04 I'm talking. This was like really when I got into hip hop was 2004. And then when it really kicked off this is how I found out about Mac Dre, was the day after he died. My mom came up to me and she gave me the Press Democrat article, the paper from Santa Rosa. And she's like, do you know who this is? I know you're starting to listen to this type of music. Have you ever heard of him before? And that's how I found out on November 2nd, the day after he died on November 1st. I found out about Mac Dre. So then we got computers at school that next year. So then Wikipedia and all that was starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
And we started, and then with YouTube, early days of YouTube, bro, like Trill TV and watching watching all the original Mac Dre videos. And then that's when it just really started to kick off for me. That's when my love of music really like took off. And then I got into, in 4th grade, I picked up a saxophone. Started playing saxophone. So then I learned music composition. I learned how to read and write sheet music. So my hearing and my understanding of music is a lot deeper and broader.
Because you started reading music.
Yeah, like I can understand time and rhythm. I can write and read sheet music, like in different, like, you know, whatever you want, 3/4, 4/4 time, half notes, you know, this, that. It's just like, I can do it. And that's where I feel like it helps me a lot with my music. And that's a tip I give to people too who make music. If you know how to read, write, and understand sheet music and rhythm and time, that is literally going to be the big key success to having a good sound with your music. That's just my personal opinion, but I just feel like it plays a lot because anybody can say.
Oh, can you raise it up?
Anybody can say words into a microphone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anybody can do that. So
but it's just a substance that's within that.
So I played alto saxophone until about 10th grade. And then kind of went on a delinquent teenager rampage, you know, like we all do.
I mean, we all do that.
And tried to figure myself out, I guess you could say. But then hip-hop really, really became more like 13, 14. I started listening to more Tech 9.
Shout out to Tech.
Jaron Benton. Dizzy Wright, Hobson.
More that independent underground.
I'm all about independent music, and that's what I'm built off. Yeah. I grew up looking up to all these guys my whole life since I was 8, 9 years old. Like literally, like one day I'm gonna build something from the ground up, and like Tech 9, like
that guy inspired me. Honestly.
Like, dude, straight up, I just saw this on a podcast. Kevin Gates was saying it. Like, people say Tech 9's name and act like they don't know who he is. He sells out the observatory here every time.
All the time.
Every single time.
I've
seen him 6 times, and
same, bro. I've seen him 6 times.
Tech 9 is he's a big inspiration for me. So when I was in high school, I would study all their music too. That was like another thing. Like with my time with alto, I learned how to dissect music. Like, understand, like, okay, he's from Kansas City. What drove this track? Who is he? What's his backstory? So I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. Music was my therapy, and it always had been my therapy. So then I started to do freestyle hip-hop when I was like 14, 15 years old. And I'll tell you, bro, my buddies now, they're like, damn, he's got the record deal, this and that. They used to clown me. They're like, dude, you're just like every white kid at a college frat party. Listen to my bars, bro. and now I'm clowning them because like it's like, no, I went and made this a reality, you know, and
you know what, let's talk about that now, man. Now that we're transitioning into that, man. So now, if you guys don't know, he already has his own podcast. He's already
got the radio show.
There you go. Talk a little bit about that, man. How did that come to light? How did that take? How long did that take? What was the process to get there?
So, like I said, I've been moving quick. And, you know, kind of gotten under people's skin a little bit down here. I will say that. I'm from the Bay Area, you know, and there's people,
shout out to the Bay.
There's people down here I see that have been working really hard at this for 10 to 15 years, but they're very stagnant. Like, shout out to everyone's hustle. But, like, I've been doing some stuff, and then I get background feeding, like, people who have my back, who see what I'm doing, who like what I'm doing, and hear what other people say. And lately I've heard some nasty things. We're not going to say any names, but I know that's it's not what I want, but if they're not saying anything, I'm not doing anything right. So how this came to fruition so quick was I met an engineer who is an engineer for Atmosphere, Chris Webby.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so me and my friend Mercutio X, shout out Mercutio X, my dog, we used to do a thing where when we were performing in 2022, if I got a show, I'd start my show off and I would bring him on to close out set. If he got a show, he would do the same thing. We had that going for a little bit, 2022, and then we met this guy who watched our set. So then I started doing my own showcases, Hot 16s Fest, March 2023. And from September 2022 up until that point, I had built this friendship with this engineer.
Yeah.
And he got me access to Afro, Locksmith, etc. He got me in with
Locksmith,
all
dope.
these really profound, like very solidified hip hop artists.
Yeah.
So I got to show with Afro. So I did that. But at the time, I was working a quality control job with this gentleman called Ray Aparicio, a good friend of mine now. And we both were sitting there, tough time in our life, and he was like, hey man, like we really need to better ourselves. And I was like, yeah man, and he's like, hey, I think you should go to this flea market, the 562 Flea at Long Beach. Have you heard of that? It's like this big flea market that was down there at the City College.
Nah, I think it's almost like a swap meet.
Kinda, yeah, same vibe.
Yeah.
So I go down there and I'm networking my show. I'm networking the brand I was working with at the time. And then I ran into this guy, Greg. And Greg was like, hey man, I heard of you. I was like, what? You heard of me?
How the
Yeah, and I was like, who? He's like, no, I know the owner of the company you work for.
Raise it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know the owner of the company that you, oh jeez, my bad.
Don't
bro.
worry. No, don't worry.
The owner of the company that you're working for. And so anyhow, I talked to him and he's like, hey man, he's like, you need to come to the East LA flea market.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to introduce you to Viva Mescal. And I was like, okay, for sure. Shout out Viva too. Everybody check out East of the River and Lighter Fluid. We'll get into that here in a second. That's part of this story. So I get invited to the East LA flea market. My friend Greg is vending. He does comic books and collectibles and stuff, like really cool. He's got graded comic books and stuff.
Interesting.
Like
Okay.
really dope stuff.
Yeah.
And so I go. I'm hanging out with him, eating edibles, smoking, just having a good time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
East LA, this was when I really got out there, bro. Like I told you, I started everything out here, Fullerton, Orange County. I hadn't really gone into the underground scene. So this is how I officially got into that.
Gotcha.
So then I'm there, and he's like, okay, give Viva a little bit of time. So he went over. He got Viva. Viva came over. He introduced himself. He was very, very polite, very, very nice. And we sat there and talked. And I was like, yeah, man, my name's P.B.P, this and that. He's like, yeah, Greg told me about you. And then I was like, yeah, man, I got the Hot 16s Fest. And he's like, oh, for sure. He's like, didn't you do that with Afro? And I was like, yeah, I did that with Afro. He's like, I was just with Afro. He had mentioned you. So then again, my name's like starting to kind of bounce around. And to me, I was like, okay, for sure. So I talked to him, and he was like, well, you know what, man? He's like, I'm really interested in what you have going on. And he's like, it seems like, you can provide a lot to our Lighter Fluid conference. This was Lighter Fluid 6 this past July. Shout out 86 Inca, Audio P, Viva Mescal, all those guys. They gave me probably one of the biggest opportunities that honestly was the big jump for me in all this. And I got to teach a class with 60 East at their conference at the Boyle Heights Technology Center.
God damn.
And me and 60 East, what we did is we did a live music feedback class, and where artists would come up, and we would have, we had Mirage, he was a DJ, and he would play their music, and me and 60 would listen to it, and we would give them feedback. And 60 East is a founder of Thought Fest. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Thought Fest, but it's it's the biggest independent music festival on the West Coast.
Shit.
He just had RBL Posse and Immortal Technique as the headliners this year.
God damn.
Yeah, so shout out to 60 East. It was such an honor to work with you, man, and I hope we can do some more stuff soon. So yeah, that was a really big thing for me. So then I was, helping. I was volunteering at the conference, and then we went to Hello Stranger. And when we went to Hello Stranger, I had the opportunity to help Viva out and DJ a little bit. I got to work with Noah James a little bit. And it was really cool for me because then, like, my name really was out there. Like, I was starting to work with reputable people. And from that, ever since then, I get hit up all the time now. I get DMs all the time now. People want me to host their events. But from that conference I did, there was a gentleman. This is getting into how I got the radio. Just so you know. Mr. OG. Mr. Opportunity Giver, elderly man, Jojo, my compa, my carnal. He's a mentor, bro. He gave me another. This is all from the Lighter Fluid. This big opportunity. So I walk up to him, and I have a canvas board. So I'm a painter, painting bigger pictures too. I like to paint as well.
There you go.
So I have all these canvases. I have so much, like just empty dry ones. I'll take them to events, and I'll have people tag them, graffiti them, sign them. It's just art. I have a bunch of them. It's just a way I can remember my events. And and then I'll tag the back with the date, whatever. So he's signing it, and he's like, hey, man, he's like, I want you to be on my radio show. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, you want to interview me? He's like, yeah, for sure. Come here on this date, blah, blah, blah. July 21st. I'll always remember it. I took my wife when she was pregnant with our daughter, too, at the time. And we went in. I did the interview. And he's like, what can I do for you? And I was like...
Just like that?
Like at the end. But this is live on air. This was announced live on air. And he straight up was like, what can I do for you? And I was like... you know, like we're always looking for monetary sponsorships. We're always looking for money and stuff like that. And he's just like, well, how about I give you your own show here?
What the fuck?
Just like that. Just like, I'm going to give you your own radio show here. I was like, what? Like just like that. Like I was shocked, bro. And then after we closed it out, we talked details. He told me exactly what he wanted me to do. He said, I want you to write a proposition, like a nice, good, structured 5-paragraph proposition to address to Carmelita, the owner of KQBH LP out in Boyle Heights. Shout out Carmelita. She's amazing. Approved my show, helped me get on the airwaves. So I started LA Lifestyle. And the title of LA Lifestyle came from my barber, actually, A-Dot, and he's from Los Angeles. And he approached me, and he wanted to get some stuff off his chest. And we did an episode called One Last Cut. And it was a story about him giving his brother a haircut before they laid him to rest. And like getting him all nice because the funeral house didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do a good job. So he went in there and did his thing, and he really wanted to get it off. Like he wanted to. But to me, it made me think like, man, there's so many Angelinos that probably have these like really raw and rugged stories that they want to tell.
And that kind of intrigued you into...
And then right there, I remember he was in my kitchen. I was like, LA Lifestyle. I just said it like right after I recorded the Hot 16s. The last episode we have done for Hot 16s. And then from there, I hit up my graphic designer. And I said, hey, I need you to make me a logo right now. And by the next day, he sent me the logo. Everything got put in motion. And it just now, we're live.
And then LA Lifestyle came to be.
Yeah, and so we started the first Sunday of October 3rd. We went live on air on 101.5, our first showcase with Hyreem Torres from Long Beach. And we've been live every single Sunday since. So from 6 to 7 p.m.
And y'all heard that 101.5, right?
Yeah, 101.5 KQBH LPFM, a community service of Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on lpfm.la. Make sure you check us out tonight. I got the dark room coming out, and like, bro, it's pretty crazy. Let me make sure I got this mic
there
here.
You go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, just pull it like.
Yeah, I try to. Make sure I get the good sound.
We do this live, guys. So now let's talk about that, man. So now you have the radio station. Now that came to flourish, right? So when it comes to interviewing artists now, right? How does that come about? I know that we talked about it a little bit, man. You're saying that all these people that used to follow you now are hitting you up, right? So
I troll them on the internet.
So how do you choose your next guest? Is it introduced to you? Do you follow the music first?
It's got to speak to me.
Okay.
It's not about what you've done. It's what you're doing. I'm just in this just long enough now where I can really read people, and I've gotten decently good at it. Like when I know someone wants something out of me, first if it's a benefit for both of us, if it's gonna mutually benefit all of us,
all of us, exactly.
When I go about picking these artists, and it's not even like whether it be a musician, an artist, like I'm getting more into my talk show is more like I'm kind of that. Just to backtrack a little bit, Hot 16s, when it launches April on 101.5, because that is also going to be a radio show now, that'll be solely music. And then my LA Lifestyle is going to be...
So it's two different entities.
Yeah, well, I kind of started doing music on LA Lifestyle, but that wasn't the original vision with it. We're going to keep one music segment for one Sunday of the month for LA Lifestyle because it has the music behind it.
Yeah.
But everything, all interviews will go over to Hot 16s. But to get back on track here, when I pick an artist, I really have to see you being active.
Yeah.
Even your content. I could judge you by your content. Like if you have black borders on your reel, I can't take you seriously. I'm serious. I like clean professional work. I will study things and I will pay attention to things that not your average person will pay attention to. Pride. You're very prideful of what you do. And also, too, you're not just hitting me up for an interview. Like, hey, bro, let me get on your show. I hate that. Like, people that I've never even met you. Like, I can help you, but, like, I have to blend with you.
No, yeah, of course.
I'm not just going to sit some random person down. It's like I just walk out on the street.
Like, hey, you want to come in an interview?
Yeah, you want to come and talk, bro?
Yeah,
That's
nah.
exactly what that is.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. I need to have some connection. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very prideful of what I do. And when I'm going to put you on my show, I'm interested now in you. I have to also be interested in you. Like, I maybe heard some stuff, right, about you, or I might have heard some stuff in general that I want to maybe clear the air with.
Of course.
I want to be interested in you, right? Like the Dark Room tonight. I'm interested in them because they're this rap group from Ventura, California, who found me at the Bars on Wheels party and wanted to talk to me. So that's why I'm like, okay, you're interested in me. Now I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
You know, it's all mutual. Like, shout out Baby Rich and the Mighty Tribe. They're from Anaheim, California. Like, those guys, that energy is what I'm looking for. Sharing my content, engaging with my content, like being there, being genuine, like I can see through people like Scotch tape.
Let me ask you this, man. Like, once you're done interviewing those people, man, is it like, all right, cool, on your way, nice to meet you?
No, we get beers at the bar after.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I don't cut people high and dry. I'm always like, let's get some food.
Yeah, same.
Like, if you're going to work with me and I'm going to keep you on my brand, like, we're not only building a business relationship, but we're building a connection and a bond, because my platform is here for you.
Yeah.
It's here for you. It's not here for me. It's here for you. And not take advantage of me, but take advantage of the resources.
And good thing you mentioned that, bro.
People don't see that, man.
Yeah, and good thing that you mentioned that, bro, because that's kind of why I wanted to do this. I was telling you, man, like, originally, I started rapping, bro. I started getting into the music.
Yeah.
I started editing, doing all that. And then once I picked up a camera, I was like, hey, this shit's interesting. And then I started seeing the behind the scenes. Then I started doing shows, doing events, booking artists and doing all that. So I saw the behind the scenes. So I'm like,
where the money's at.
And I'm like, instead of trying to create the music, why don't I help other artists, hence have the resources to help them?
Because not everybody has a platform.
Yeah,
and not everybody can easily get on a podcast. Like, how many times I hear people say, oh, I want to get on No Jumper. It's like, dude, Adam 22 is not looking at you.
He's
like,
not.
you are nowhere near what you need to be for that. So just check yourself, homie. Like, straight up, man.
Straight up, yeah.
That's why it's good for people like us to have what we have. And my whole thing too with picking guests is you don't be rude to me. Oh man,
it's all respect.
You be rude to me and that's it. I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Or like, especially when I try and help people.
Have you had that so far or not?
Oh yeah, I've had some rude encounters. Like, I'm not going to say any names, but one in particular. I had a guest really pressure me to get on the show.
Okay.
And I thought because of their following, it was going to do something for me. Like, oh, we're going to do some collaboration reels. We're going to do content together. Well, they came on my show. That was that. They did their thing. They were just annoyed the whole time. You could tell. And then after that, I haven't heard from them since. No content collaborations have been accepted. And they're just out high and dry making all this money and throwing it in people's face. And it's like, so you came, I kicked an artist off because you insisted I get you on the show. Oh, we're going to do this, and this. That doesn't sit over well with me. No names are being said.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're going to come on my show, it's mutual collaboration effort. Like, for instance, this is probably like a poor example, but like when adult entertainers collaborate with each other, the purpose of collaborating is to promote together, right?
Of course.
Anything you do in entertainment, music, adult entertainment, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
The purpose of collaboration is to collaborate. I can't stress that enough. And when I don't get that back, it kind of grinds my gears. It's very frustrating because I not only gave you, like, typical radio stations charge you to get on.
I heard.
And they charge you for every song you play to get interviewed. Like, you get charged. We don't charge you a single cent. I've played We do live album listens for people.
Interesting.
Every last Sunday, we'll do a live album listen. This is over 10 tracks of music I'm putting on the airwaves for you for free, and I'm giving you airwaves for $0.
Like, where else are you gonna find that shit?
You're not getting that, and that's why I'm saying. That's why people the things I've heard behind the scenes about me. That's why people don't like how quick I'm moving, because it frustrates them. But it's like, no, like, don't think about the money. Build value. That's what Viva told me. Said, I like the amount of value you offer. He's like, it may be small, but the amount of value and passion you have is no one beats that. And that's the truth. And I'll stand by that.
And shout out to Viva, because that person was able to see something that most people don't.
He was one of the first big cats, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he does conferences. He goes and travels and does, music events over in Houston with Chop the Father and all those guys out there. Like, they're really building, like, this big community. East LA has done a lot for me, bro. I love East LA, from the food to the culture to the music to the people there that I'm now associated with. Like, It is now officially my favorite part of LA. I love East LA. Like, I enjoy going there on Sundays. It's always fun. I always have a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that, my buddy Ray, shout out to him again. If he would have never told me about that flea market and to try to better myself with my career and what I had going on, I probably wouldn't be here with you today talking.
Facts. Because
I probably would be super sheltered still, trying to dig up and get up out of this trench.
You know what, man? Hearing you about your come up, man, it sounds like you were doing everything yourself, man. Did you have a team? Did you have any? It was just the only person that helps me is my brother. And then now I work with Sabi from Hangout Records. He's my in-house producer for my 5-Finger Freestyle. My brother would just record. I do all the editing. Sabi make me beats, and that's it. I do everything. I manage every single social media page. So I have LA Lifestyle, Hot 16s, and P.B.P. And then I have that on every single social media platform. So that's like over 20 posts I have to make when I'm posting something at the same time for everything. So I'm managing over 20 social media accounts. I also work a full-time job, and I have a newborn daughter who's 4 months old. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, and she's my pride and joy. You know, like, this is all for her. When Daddy's gone, so I don't want her to work. I don't want her to struggle like I did growing up. I do not.
Yeah.
I had a good life. My parents did the best they could, but it was tough. There were times where it was like why? Like, why me? Kind of thing. And so. Man, it's just interesting, with people. They're just...
And that's what it is. I've heard a lot of successful entrepreneurs,
I don't need anybody. Here's the thing. I've been bullied my whole life. Yeah. So I didn't have any friends. So anytime I had to do something, fix my bike or do I was doing it by myself. Like in school, you know how you get the school projects with a partner?
Yeah.
I never had a partner.
What the fuck?
No one ever wanted to work with me. I always grew up like that, bro. I'm just independent. I'm fine with that. I don't need your help. And that's the thing. It's more for me. I'm cool with that. What do you do with time wasters?
Me personally, I mean, I'm pretty cold. I'm just straight up, bro. Like, if you just waste my time, I don't talk to you. I usually delete your number. I could give a fuck what you think, bro. I'm on a mission, and I'm just gonna fucking take care of that. I'm pretty cold, bro. I cut off a lot of people. I don't have time to waste,
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do too. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's like a small encounter or like you rub me off the wrong way, or like I hate to say it, if I know I'm right, that's very misogynistic to fucking say. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of times, bro, like down here, the only thing, shout out to LA, I love LA. The only thing I don't like down here is everyone's ego. People
full of it. For sure.
I just, from the Bay, we're all hustler mindset. Like, get the money, like build, more. But here it's like, look at me. And it's like, no one cares, dude. There's a million of you.
There is a million of you.
There's a million. There's probably in LA, I'm going to say at least 500,000 musicians down here. And we're all connected in some shape, form, or fashion. But I guarantee through Orange County, San Diego, and LA County, there's got to be at least 500,000 different musicians and groups.
I don't doubt it.
Because there's 23 million people in this urban area of LA. I mean, that's a pretty fair number. Maybe it's far-fetched. But, like, out of how many of those 500,000. How many are real hustlers?
How many are actually putting in the work? How
Out of
many
five.
are actually passionate?
Have motion.
Yeah.
You know, like people clown me, but it's like I just got my first record deal too. Like,
Shout out to you.
yeah, Risk Takers. Shout out Risk. Shout out Brody. Shout out fucking Savvy Sosa, the whole squad, Pomona, Santa Fe Springs. Everybody, shout them out, bro.
Yeah.
People been clowning me too long, and it's my time, and I'm out here doing this for a reason, and people better watch out. Like, straight,
I heard that. You better
straight
watch
up,
out,
Like,
man.
I'm swinging with heavy hitters. I have a really good team behind me,
There you go.
and that's what matters. And I ain't got time for people to waste my time.
Yeah, man.
And the people now that I have, they're fully invested in me, and they're not wasting my time.
And talk about that, man. Talk about your team, man. Shout them out.
So my team consists of, well, we have 24 artists on the label.
God damn.
I'll name a few, the ones that I've been working with, because
Yeah.
we're all starting. We've been all signed for about 2 months now.
Okay.
So it all starts with my homie Risk. Shout out Risk. My dog, bro. I met him at Season Fest in Anaheim. I hosted an event in November for Wavy and DJ Keys. And they had their podcast, and they were doing a thing on stage. So I introduced them, and then they're like, hey, do you want to get interviewed a little bit? I was like, oh, yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we start talking, whatever. And it was pretty cool. Like, but I didn't even realize who they were. Like, I was just like, all right, like these guys are on stage.
Well, no shade. You're like, yeah,
Yeah, I was
cool.
just, I was like, yeah, what's up? Type vibe, right? So I go and do my thing, and then from there, he's like, hey, we're doing a freestyle contest. And I was like, freestyle contest? He's like, yeah. He's like, you got anybody that wants to enter? And I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I got my boy Mercutio. I'm going to enter him. I was like, I ain't singing because I got to save my voice for tonight. I'm hosting, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I wasn't like, but I was good, though.
Yeah.
I didn't want to rap.
I got
I
you.
was there to work, you know?
Yeah.
So put my boy in, my boy wins. He got 10 hours of studio time
God
at
damn.
the Risk Takers label. So then he came up to me. He's like, yo, bro. He's like, let's cut out of here. I was like, oh, I got to go home. But he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go check this out. I'll go scout it for us. And I was like, all right, cool. So he goes to Covina with these guys. And he goes to the Risk Takers like label in the studio. And he goes in there. And then the next session he invites me. He's like, you got to come through. So I went through. We started messing around, making some music, vibing, this and that. And then a couple days went by, and he hit me up. He's like, yo, I just got signed. I was like, what? You just got signed?
What the fuck?
I was like, kind of like, by who?
Yeah.
And he's like, by Risk. I'm on Risk Takers. I got signed for Risk Takers. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you should talk to him. I was like, oh, okay, for sure. So I went back, told him I wanted to pull up. And I pulled up on him, and it was me and my boy. And then from there, I was talking to him about an album I had. And then he was like, well, do you want to be on the label too? And then he offered me the deal, and I signed. And it's just a 50-50 right across the board. No funny business. And, yeah, it's...
It's interesting that you say that, bro, because I've spoken to a couple of artists, bro, and obviously they want to be independent, bro, but somehow they want to be signed to a label, but they want to keep their independence. They want to keep, majority of, whatever.
That comes with hustle and time, where
Of course.
you're going to have to earn that back. If you don't have everything...
Yeah.
Like, I have equipment. Yeah, I can rap in my garage.
So are you talking about like equipment, following
Everything that comes with that, bro. Like, you can't expect to keep that. Like, artists,
yeah, that makes sense.
you can buy, like, if you invest in everything that you need, you're going to need like 10 to 15 bands
At least.
to start.
At least.
But if you don't have that, and then someone is giving you that for free, why are you going to get mad at them for owning 50% of your masters?
I mean,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
but that's how business works.
Yeah, I get
And then
you.
maybe when you get to a bigger level where you've monetized and you have good money,
You can
then you can be like,
negotiate.
hey, bro,
Yeah.
I got 25K or I got 20K.
Yeah.
And you buy your masters. And then the thing is, well, now you own 100%
Of your
So
shit.
if you're making that money back, then you're going to make that 20 bands back. Instead of
Exactly.
losing for all those years, you were
Yeah.
losing 50%. That money is going to pay for itself, and that's what people are afraid to do too. They're afraid.
Oh,
to,
yeah, of
They're
course.
afraid to invest in themselves.
Of course, bro. Now, hey, talk about your studio, man. I know that you talked about, right, like having your own podcast, having your radio station. Like, how is the day-to-day life when you go into your studio, man?
So
Tell us
I have
little
a
bit about
couple
that.
places. I have my in-garage. I have my office/studio,
Okay.
which is a recording studio in my office. That's just like the headquarters.
Dope shit.
Yeah, it's the headquarters of Hot 16s. And Hot 16s is like the foundation of
Yeah.
all this, the LLC,
Yeah.
The foundation.
You're a genius for doing that, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to structure everything.
Exactly.
Tax code, bro. Come on.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. Trust me.
Yeah. So when I'm in there, it's more of a kind of like be yourself.
Yeah.
This is my office.
Exactly.
You don't come in here and tell me to turn the music down. You don't come in here and disrupt what I'm doing. If I say I'm going out there, I need to be me. Mm-hmm. That's me.
Yeah.
That's where I get to be me.
Exactly.
It's the only place in the house that I have that I don't get bothered. I don't get told what to do, or it's
Well, yeah, because that's your kingdom, bro.
Yeah, it literally is. It's my little man cave. I call it my slice of cheese, pretty much. Anyhow, moral of it is so when I'm there, it's me. But when I go to my record label, it's more like we got to get this done.
Of course.
I'm kind of a goofball, but I'm not a goofball. It's like fun but professional.
Yeah, that balance.
I have a good balance. So I go there, I crush it. Podcasting the studio, though, the first 2 seasons was all audio in my garage. I'd have my guests come in and they'd sit down and we would just talk and record in the microphones.
Yeah.
Then the 3rd season, I did it at Exhibit in Fullerton, California.
Okay.
And I made a set inside the art studio there.
Dope shit, bro.
It's pretty badass. It's on YouTube. And that was that. But then I kind of had a weird falling out with Will and that whole entire thing. We won't talk about them. They're bad. They're terrible people. Anyhow, we did our thing and it was cool. But then I started doing the shows and then I dropped the week of Lighter Fluid. I dropped season 3 of Flood Drop. I dropped everything. Like I do 16 episodes a season.
God damn.
That was the theme on that, and we've done 48 episodes in 3 seasons on that.
Shit,
they're all up on every streaming platform.
God damn. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And so then from there, though, it just kind of stopped. Because I got into doing more teaching the classes, and I was going to all these events and hosting events, and people wanted my face.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really thinking about the podcast. I needed to get more experience. I needed to meet more people to interview, right? Yeah. So now I was just like, I told my bro, Mercutio, I was like, dude, I want to get Hot 16s going again. And then that's when he was like, hey, why don't I take over and I host that for you? It's still your brand, but I just host it. And then boom, light bulb went off in my head. And then the radio idea came to fruition. So it's just like finding a balance right now is pretty crazy, man.
Dope shit. Now, for those artists that have found you, right, or are trying to look for you, man, what would be? I know you talked about you gotta have that chemistry, you gotta have that connection. Mm-hmm. But if they wanted to go on your show, man, is there a charge, bro?
No, I don't charge you to go on my
Okay.
show. The only thing that we do charge is our events. We do a pay-to-play format. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like to just make people realize I'm here to talk my shit, and I have the best pay-to-play opportunities in LA. Period.
Hands down.
Hands down. I kind of snoop around Instagram and find promoters, and I'll ask for their pricing list, and I'll never buy it.
But you're just curious.
I'm a business. I want to see how much they're charging.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, for OGZ and Phoenix Flexing, there's a guy out here that be charging, I think for like 15 or 20 minutes right before him, it's like $2,000. $2,000. And they don't care who you are either. You're not going to get to interact with OGZ or Phoenix Flexing. You're not. You're not going to get to meet these people at all.
Yeah.
And there's like slots ranging between $750 and $2,000 freaking dollars. What is that going to do for you? But here's the thing. Then they give it back to you in tickets, right?
Okay.
And then what? You're going to hustle. And I think once you sell the face value of the tickets, you only turn like a $200 or $300 profit. That's if you sell all the tickets. And it's a fat stack of tickets, too, they give you.
When would you say would be the appropriate time to, start charging or...
Start charging people to play?
Yeah. In your opinion, right?
It depends on the type of event and the situation, really.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's like, if it's a say it's a showcase, right, where a promoter in an event, like a big event place like the Paramount or say the Catalyst in Santa Cruz,
okay,
and you have a tour coming through, and 1 or 2 people get an opportunity, they don't have to pay. Like those opportunities you shouldn't have to pay. Like if
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you're trying to become that person and you don't have pull, right, or stuff like that, then why should you get that opportunity to play for them for free?
I get that.
I hate people that are like, yeah, my stuff's fire. Oh, I'm so good. I'm like, okay, you have no pool.
Can you fill out a venue?
Can you bring at least 10 people?
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
Nah, they can't.
They can't. And that's where, like, you know, I charge people because, oh, if I go and take this opportunity on you and I have an empty crowd, that's on you, buddy.
And that's a risk, too.
I mean, yeah, I can promote this all I want, but when people also work with me, too, when I charge them, we charge you literally $50
And that's not bad.
for 20 minutes.
And that's not fucking bad.
$50
Yeah.
for 20 minutes. I don't make you sell tickets. I don't make you do any of that bullshit. You just simply promote the show. Just promote it, right? But that $50, you're going to be able to work with a big independent artist who has over 250,000 listeners on Spotify. I'm going way above and beyond and spending a lot of money on these venues, on these artists, insurance, security, DJs, photography.
All that shit.
The mile that I go, and I'm charging you $50. Oh, okay. Go spend $2,000 and get stepped on like a pile of shit. Straight up. I'm going to do more for you than that guy will think about you in 2 seconds of his life. Like, hands down. So my new platform, though, we'll announce it here like I was just discussing with you. I'm inspired by the independent grind.
Of course.
La Russell right now is a big inspiration for me, what he's doing. Give back to the artist. Give back to the artist. You know, be in contact with the art.
Exactly.
We are the creators.
Yeah, we are.
And what I love about La Russell is just his pay-to-play format and how he really does it. And he inspired me, and now I'm announcing now, is the Hot 16's pay-to-play structure will be pay what you think you're worth. Pay what you think you're worth. I'm not going to set a value on who you are. What do you think you're worth? And how much do you think this 20 minutes is worth to you? Mm-hmm. It has to be not outrageous.
Of course not.
But it has to be some kind of donation.
Yeah.
But I'm letting you pick that. I'm letting you set the value on what you think you're worth. But also remember, you could get outbid.
So how would that work, at least in your eyes, man? What? Let's say, just hypothetically speaking,
Yeah.
this artist comes up to you and you're like, bro, I think this is worth $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to $5,000.
I mean, money talks, though. That's the thing.
There you go.
How much? Because it's
Yeah.
what you're worth and how much you're willing to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And the thing is the more that you do donate, the more the bigger the show can be.
Obviously.
Think about it like
Yeah.
that. And I want to try this out, man, because I was thinking about it, and I was going to be like, also, too, I thought of one. I was like, yeah, $1 a minute. If you want to get a 15-minute set, it's $15.
That makes
if you
sense.
want a 13-minute set, it's $13. $1 a minute.
Bro, that's not fucking bad.
I'm gonna charge you $1 a minute, and you still get to play with some big
Sick ass fucking.
artists,
Yeah.
bro. Like, and that's the thing too. It's like I think that's also what pisses people off. Is like I be doing all this shit, and they're just like, God damn, like.
But I love the fact, man, that because you're creating your own atmosphere, you're creating your own set of rules, bro. But at the same time,
I'm setting a standard.
Exactly,
I'm setting a standard, bro,
Exactly.
on how this shit needs to get done.
Yeah.
I'm setting a standard. Bottom line. And my standard is success, the best possible presentation of yourself, and just overcoming what people say, bro. Like, who cares? Right?
Bro, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, man. I want to talk a little bit about family, man. Like,
yeah.
mom and pops, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do they think about all this thing, everything that you brought
They
into
love it.
fruition?
Well, my dad, we'll talk about my dad. My dad was actually the original founder of Thrasher Magazine.
What?
The original the production manager.
Okay.
From 1980 to 1983. And Andy Croft. My dad he's a character, bro. I love my dad. He's
Shout out to Pops.
Pops is he's 60. Let's see, 67. He's going to be 68 this year, and he's living up in Mendocino County. He's like a lumberjack now, man. He's like pretty much. He's always like, "Yeah, pal, I just went and bucked some trees and da 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 da." I'm like, all right.
Shout out to you, Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops, man. He's just, so my dad, I was always with my dad. I really, my dad raised me well. We didn't have a lot growing up, and he made the best of it, man. He really, he taught me things that money can't buy.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't care. Like, I'm more thankful that the stuff my father taught me, like, by the time I was 6 years old, I knew how to run felt on a roof. Right? By the time I was 8, I was on a chop saw cutting siding boards and fascia boards. And you know, my dad taught me skills. He taught me life.
Life skills.
Being efficient, effective, useful. You walk around and everyone's like this.
Yep. Exactly.
They can't have a conversation like you and me right now?
Yeah.
Let's go get 2 teenagers off the street.
They won't be able to look me in the eye.
They won't even be able to be like, they'll be like this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's embarrassing, bro.
It is.
And like, I don't know what's wrong with kids these days, bro.
That's a whole nother story, man.
I don't even know. Like, I look at my niece and my nephews, and I'm kind of like, sometimes I'm like, am I missing something here? Like,
It's no life skills, man.
yeah, it's just, it's the digital, the dependency.
Yeah, man, I know.
What do you have? I could ask you. So you said you had a daughter, right?
Yes.
What's your whole thing with tablets?
So I only have my daughter every other weekend. So I only have her like 6 days a month.
Okay.
Right. When she's with me, I don't let her use the phone unless we're listening to music in the car. She doesn't have a tablet in my house.
Good.
In her mom's house, she has a tablet. Of
course.
But not with me. We read books, we color, we go outside to the park, we go walk around in the mall.
There we go.
I teach, whatever I learn like about the sun. Did you know the sun is X amount of miles away?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Astrology,
Yes.
the moon,
and
planets.
the only time I'll use the phone will be like, hey, Siri, you know, and then just ask the question, just so at least I can prove a point to her and be like, hey, look, the phone or the tablet is used to answer any questions that you have.
It's technology.
Yeah. But
It's a tool.
Yeah. Other than that, she doesn't. Again, she doesn't use a phone in my house. You know what I mean? It's all about reading. Try to learn a word. Every day.
Yeah.
So I try to keep her smart, man, because that's how we were raised.
Yeah,
We didn't have fucking tablets, bro. We didn't have a phone.
I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18, bro.
Same.
I didn't have anything like that. I had an iPad that I had gotten that I could connect to Wi-Fi and stuff. But like, it was like to listen to music and shit. Like, I couldn't text people. I couldn't call people.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any of that. Like, I was pretty sheltered, like I pretty much grew up poor. Like, it was, we didn't have internet. Like, we had DirecTV. And that was about it. That was the nicest.
That's about it.
Hey, but I didn't have any wheels under my house, so I wasn't that trailer trash. Okay.
This guy.
I wasn't that white trash. But no. So with the family though, man, so my dad, he's a character. I learned a lot. So my mom, she was a homebody. My mom, she stayed home and she took care of me. My dad worked. My dad made all the money. That's what my dad did. He was a provider.
Traditional. Yeah,
which is fine with me. So my mom, she was more of a artsy.
Okay.
Like, the creative side comes from my mom,
Okay.
but the passion comes from my dad. My mom's an amazing artist, an amazing cook. She's very crafty.
Yeah.
Just very creative. That's where I get the creative side from, is my mom. And I love my mom. She's got my back in ways that I think I can't even understand, and I take for granted, and I don't think she's there for me sometimes, but she is, And my mom, she's just, she reassures me that everything's fine. And she's very proud of me because, my mom, she wanted to do so much in her life and she never really had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate because my mom's a very smart woman. She graduated high school a whole year early.
Oh, damn.
Very, very smart. Like, top of her class, top honors. My mom was very smart. And, it just, life things happen.
Of course.
And, she chose the way she went. But, I'm forever thankful for it. I have my mother who is, God, just, no judgment ever. That's the thing. Like, I'm afraid to tell my dad stuff.
Well, I think, just hearing you talk, bro, about your mom and dad, it sounds like you come from a traditional home, bro. Like,
I do.
Your dad was the breadwinner. Mom stayed home, took care of the kids, and taught you values. I think you got both values from both mom and dad.
Yeah.
The more masculine leadership role.
Yeah, my dad was very masculine. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then mom's taught you about the love and
being creative, being yourself.
Exactly. So you got a beautiful balance, man. And
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
And I know I got a good head on my shoulders, man. I my family was kind of like torn apart a little bit after my father's dad passed away, my grandfather, Pops, a year before I was born. But when he passed away, the whole dynamic of what our family used to be just kind of fell out the window.
Well, because he was a head, man.
And now, he was ahead, exactly, my dad. And there you go. It's just, so much we can get into, but it was
Yeah.
just, my dad moved on, but he always told me, he's like, I put you in the situation you're in to protect you,
Of course.
And I don't blame him, because now as an adult, the stuff I heard that would happen when I was a kid, I'm like, you out of pocket.
But now you have a daughter, man.
Yeah.
So
and
you kind of
I'm
would
glad.
understand.
I'm glad that I have my daughter. She smiles at me every morning, bro.
Hey,
I've never had anybody that happy to see me, ever.
I think
Ever.
I think a child's love is obviously you have your mom and dad's love, but a child's love is
That's your own.
Yeah,
And then all
bro.
they know is you.
Exactly. You're the whole world, bro.
Yeah, and I just realize it now because she can see more. She's 4 months old, so when
Yeah.
she sees me and she gets all happy. I don't know, like, I love my wife. Like, she's happy to see me, but
Yeah.
it's like, you can't,
Like, I'm gonna ask you a question, bro. I already know the answer to.
What?
Like, who would you take a bullet for first?
Oh, my kid.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I mean, I'd take one for both of them,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. She saved me, man, mentally. When I found out my wife was pregnant, I walked outside and I took a deep breath. I just kind of sat there and I looked at the sky and I just kind of thought about people that I've lost,
Yeah.
and how I felt like I wanted to be with them, but where I needed to be was
Here.
here.
Yeah.
And now I had purpose. I had meaning. I never thought I would have a kid, bro. Never. Like, I never ever thought I would get that gift. And when it all like hit me,
Yeah.
and then my wife came out and sat next to me outside and put her hand on my hand, it just all, I was like, I have purpose now. I didn't have a reason to be here, bro. I didn't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, man. You told me a little bit. There was a little dark side into your
Yeah,
life.
well,
man.
when I moved, when I was 18, I moved to Santa Cruz, California, from a town of 500 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I had adult money. I didn't have to ask my mom and
Yeah.
dad if I could do something.
Yeah, you already had that.
Bag of cocaine, let's do it, right? And then that led down a spiral of years and years and years of addiction, bro. That got to a point where I finally overdosed at the age of 24.
Fuck, bro.
It was 6 years of just destruction.
God damn.
Destruction. I mean, it started with a little line on a college dorm room table that led down to a crippling addiction to where I lost jobs, I lost friendships, I lost my really badass studio I had in Capitola, California, right by the beach, bro. Like, I worked so hard, but as I say, when you drive a Ferrari, bro, and you crash it, what do? You fix it.
Of course.
You don't put a Band-Aid on it. I was a kid that got the keys to the Ferrari for the first time and crashed it and just patched it up and kept driving it. That's how I explain it. That's how it was. It was just go crash, go crash, go crash until the Ferrari couldn't go anymore.
Exactly.
And Santa Cruz for me, I'll say it got the best of me. I'm an adult. I made those decisions, but then I took that addiction with me down here. And so the first year we had COVID, bro. Like, that's not an excuse, but we were pretty cooped up inside, and you get bored and
Weird times.
weird times
Yeah.
for everyone. We weren't really talking to a lot. You
Yeah.
just kind of. So yeah, I just one night I went out and had some drinks in Anaheim with my wife at the Golden Road Brewery. Just,
Golden Road.
yeah, got some brew. Just normal outing, right? Just like always. And then after I would just, of course you drink, you want to get some, and I fucking went out, couldn't meet my normal person. And for some reason, I was so drunk, I should have just stayed home, right? Just should have stayed home.
It's always a should, huh? Should have.
And I went to Compton.
Out of all
I was
places.
like, I know I can get some there. Went and drove over to Compton, found a dude on the street, and was like, hey, I'm looking for some yada-da. Gave me some. I went and drove down the street next to a Food Max in Compton and ripped one. And then all of a sudden, I was like, uh-oh. Like, I immediately knew something was wrong. I was like, I got to get home. I didn't even make it 500 fucking feet down the street.
Fuck.
I was driving, and I was all over the place, and I pulled over, bro. And I unlocked my door. Thank God I did. I unlocked the door, and I went to go put it in park, and then the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the back of an ambulance
Fuck.
and getting hit with a third thing of Narcan. Third. And my wife was on the phone pleading with the paramedic to do it, and they weren't going to do it, and they tried one more. And I'd already been not brain dead. I was no oxygen, no nothing for 33 seconds at that point.
Damn.
So I had no oxygen in my brain, no nothing.
Yeah.
And when I woke up in the hospital the next morning, I couldn't see. That's why I have glasses now. I lost all the motor skills on my whole right side of my body.
Fuck, bro.
Fucked me up, bro. I realized my problem when they were putting this fucking paperwork in my fucking face, and I was trying to pick up I couldn't pick up the pen. And I just broke down. Like it was just like, you need to stop, dude. You just died. You're sitting here and you can't even sign your name. How embarrassing this is, right? And then from there, I was in the hospital for a week and a half. Physical therapy, learning how to write and walk again.
Again, yeah.
I never thought I'd ever have to do that again in my freaking life.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed, bro. I didn't tell anybody this happened for 2 years. I didn't start telling people this happened until last year. Only people that knew were my family. That's how embarrassed I was. So it was like, when people like saw I was in the hospital, I was like, oh, I had a blood infection.
It's like, bro.
I lied for 2 years. I was embarrassed, bro. Because I was a business owner too at the time. So then it started to get to a point where it was like, what am I going to be known for? Mm-hmm. Right? So I changed my life, and I really got on the grind with my business, and I started my podcast and my music and my radio shows, and I have all this now, so I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. I don't have to get all fucking geeked out for fucking 5 days.
What I can tell you, bro, is, first of all, thank God you're here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Second of all, that embarrassment that you felt, bro, not a lot of people can say that, bro. A lot of people can just wake up, bro, and be like, oh, fuck, I was fucked up for a couple weeks.
Faded, fool.
You know? And then go back again and do that shit again. So
I ain't on that.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, between me and you, man, this is the first time I'm going to say it here, man. So my little brother, man, we almost lost him twice.
Fentanyl? Yeah, man.
Twice.
It
tripped me out, bro, and this was all in our house, bro. So
in the house?
In the house, bro.
Oh, that's not okay.
The first time, bro, you know, I was sleeping. I heard moms yell for him, like,
oh my God.
Wake up, levántate, you know, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I go out, and then just through the door, bro.
Yeah.
Door open. It's like a scene from a movie, bro, where you just zoom in.
Yeah.
And my mom just holding her child like this.
And he's like dying.
Bro, this fool was blue.
Yeah.
This fool was blue.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember standing there.
Was he doing powder, pills?
Powder. Yeah. And then I remember just standing there in front, just looking at my mom, and I didn't know what to do, bro. Like, at that point, as an older brother, bro.
You felt like you almost let your little bro down.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, bro.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't know what to do. So, obviously, we call 911. We call the paramedics, all that.
They get there.
Yeah, bro. Luckily, you know, they took him. He was okay, you know. He was in the hospital for about 4 or 5 days. He stayed clean for a while.
Got back on the shit.
Got back on the shit, bro. And then the second time, my pops was the one holding him. And be like, so seeing my mom and my dad, bro, hold their son.
Is he still with us today, or?
Well, now he's in TJ. He's in a rehabilitation center in TJ.
Okay.
Because that's the only place, bro, where if he says, I don't want to be here anymore, they'll be like, nah. Yeah. Like, they're paying for you to be here, so you're going to be here. Compare here in the fucking United States, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore.
No, bye.
All right, cool. You can walk out the door. So it doesn't make sense to me. So now he's over there. Luckily, he's still here, bro. He's clean. He's eating better.
Good.
But that shit, bro, and again, it goes back to, like, people like you and then my brother, bro. Like, thankfully, they're still here.
Yeah.
But other people, they don't give a fuck, bro. They're like, fuck it.
They want to die, and that was the thing, too. Like, bro, like, that's what I was telling you. Like, I had purpose now. I didn't want to be here, bro. I did not. There's a dark, twisted side to everybody.
Yeah.
And, like, for me, I was in a time where I even said, I was like, why did you revive me? I'm better now. Trust me. I'm better now. I've gotten the help I need.
Yeah.
But it was just a point in my life where I felt like I wasted every good opportunity I had, and there was nothing left for me to do. And I'm just a wasted air. That's how I felt, you know?
Yeah.
I just felt like the breaths I'm taking could be for someone else. Why am I taking away from someone else's opportunity? because I wasn't doing anything, bro.
Yeah.
I had nothing to show for. You know, by the time I was 24, a lot of my friends had already gotten master's degrees, and everyone thought I was a kid in school that was going to go on to be the most successful. And here I am sitting in a hospital bed just getting out of an overdose. You know?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to feel? Proud? Call your dad, hey, man, what's up? I just overdosed.
That's not something to be proud of.
No,
Of
it's
course
not,
not.
dude. That's what I'm saying. The embarrassment that came with that, and like, I really I've been through a lot, and I'm here, and I'm really thankful that I have
Thank God.
that I have my shows, and I have my my wife, and my daughter, and I have myself, dude, and I'm full of myself, and I love it.
And I fucking love
I
myself.
fucking love myself too, man. My wife, she's always like, why do you look at yourself so much in the mirror? I'm like, because I'm proud.
Well, you know what, bro? What I can say, bro, is shout out to your wife.
She's dope.
Something about just having that feminine energy, that balance, because
Yeah.
you grew up obviously with the traditional family, bro. You have, both your mom and dad, but like you talk about your wife, man, and you said that she saved your life, man.
Yeah, pretty much. She did.
Yeah.
She pleaded on the phone with the paramedic. I ain't have no one do that for me ever.
Yeah.
I mean, she holds it down, bro. She takes care of our daughter. You know, I work a full-time job Monday through Friday and stuff like that right now. And,
Yeah.
we're obviously leaning towards more stuff. Hey, and Edgar. Sorry.
Yeah, you see a lot of them over here,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Edgar. God, fucking Edgar. Moving on. But anyhow.
But shout out to your wife, bro.
Yeah, she's dope, and I don't know where I'd be without her, man. I really don't know where I'd be without her. It's like a really great thing that I have going on in my life, and I'm never gonna let that shatter. Yeah, man, I'm
Grateful.
grateful. I'm thankful. I'm still here. I'm feeling better. I'm
There
feeling
you go.
healthier. Put some weight on me. I know I still look small, but
This guy.
I mean, I'm getting more. I'm filling in a little
But
bit.
bro, you're clean.
Yeah, I mean, I still drink and smoke the ganj, but
Yeah, that's better than fucking.
I'm not, dude. Trust me. I used to be the guy on Wednesday night, like, let's go get a ball, and then you're
bro.
just like on a sick one for 5 days, 6 days. Like, that's not a way to live your life.
But I think, bro, the way I see it, I don't know if you're a religious man.
I'm not. I respect anybody that does, but I just my dad had some things happen to him in the church when he was little, so I was never baptized or
No, I get
anything
you.
like that. But I respect the man
No,
up
yeah,
top.
absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my.
Are
point of
you
view-
religious?
I grew up Catholic. Do I believe the entity that we see of the picture of Jesus is Jesus?
Nah.
I question it, but
Same.
what I do believe is that there is a higher being, a higher energy, a
Yeah,
higher
there's
frequency.
something out
There's
there.
something out there for sure.
Yeah.
I communicate with him or it or her differently, But
They, them, he,
Yeah.
she, when, who, what, where, when, why.
well, I mean, whatever the entity is, bro. But what I do believe, and I've seen it, bro, is it's karma, bro. Obviously, the energy that you give out to the world, bro, you're gonna get it back. I truly
Yeah.
believe that, bro. Like, obviously, if negative shit, you
Yeah.
do negative shit, you say negative shit is gonna happen to you,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's fucking bound to happen, bro.
Yeah.
But if you say positive shit and you do positive things are gonna
Oh,
happen.
no,
So I do believe that,
Your
bro.
actions.
Yeah.
Your actions. My wife will always call me out on that. She'll be like, "Yo, your actions speak louder than what you tell me."
Yeah, bro, that's
every
what they're
single
saying.
time.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and with the guidance too of all this too, like you say, backtrack on the question with the guest.
Yeah.
Their actions.
Yeah.
Will speak louder.
Exactly.
Like, no names here again, but I had someone tell me, "Oh, now you're my friend from this moment. You were just an acquaintance for 2 years." And I'm like sitting here like, how much I have done for you, and you just had the balls to tell me that right now? That action, that's like, okay, no, we're not friends.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were friends.
Exactly.
Bop, gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's dog eat dog world. Da 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 da.
Now, for those that, again, bro, that are trying to connect with you.
Yeah.
Now, these artists, bro, what are you looking more independent artists, bro? Do you find
Bars.
people that
Bars. Where your bars at?
Okay,
I need lyricism.
gotcha.
I
All
grew
right.
up listening to some cats.
That's
man.
right.
Equipto, Mac Dre, Andre Nicotina, Burner, Larry June,
Fucking Burner,
La
I mean-
Russell. Like, I listen to bar spitters.
Yeah.
Like,
how difficult would you say is it to find those spitters, bro?
it's actually kind of hard, bro. Also, too, what I look for, I take big pride in this because I perform. I don't want to hear your track on in the background. I only want to hear the ad-libs and a nice light, like, hook.
Okay.
Maybe let the hook come in to build up the energy.
Yeah.
That's it. If you sing over your vocals, I will not have you on my show.
Y'all heard that.
I know,
y'all need to change your shit.
Real artistry, bro. Because I actually compose and make music. I know how to do this. And, like, honestly, like, people, like, it's just do it.
Yeah.
You want to make good music, that's where you start. It's like feeding off someone or hanging on to someone. You're hanging on to that track.
Yeah.
That track is getting you. If I want to listen to that, I'm going to go in the parking lot in my car, drink a beer and smoke a blunt and put you on Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in here and listen to you go, baby, baby, yeah, we lit.
Yeah. Nah.
I don't need to hear that.
Exactly.
I could stay home for free 99.
Yeah.
Like,
He said for free 99.
for free 99. It's called DSPs, digital streaming platforms. You gave me your music already. Like, I ain't got time for that.
Bro. Oh, you know what? Shout out to Marquis, man. He's the one that was telling me when he performs, he was able to get a band up there. So instead of playing the actual song in a fucking speaker, he got a band that was able
and learned his music.
Exactly.
Tech
bro.
9 does that. It's so dope.
And I'm like, bro, that's what the whole concept of being an artist is, bro.
Yeah.
So I like that. Shout out to Marquis, bro. But other than that, man, now, last question for you, brother.
Okay.
If you have one message to send to the world, man.
One message?
Yeah, a message that you can send to the world. What would that be, man?
Be a better fucking person. And when I say that, it's easy to make a friend. It takes work to make an enemy.
Goddamn.
Because you really got to get someone to hate you. If you walk up and you meet someone and they're judging you, they're not the person for you.
Yeah.
Because it takes work to make that enemy. Like Nestor, we just had our first in-person interaction here.
Yes, sir.
It's been very positive. We're on a good, way to more outside of this podcast here today.
Of course.
How can I walk in here and say, you know what, fuck this dude Nestor? How could I do that?
That'll be ballsy, first of all.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And to do that, it's not only it's disrespectful, but no one's your enemy at first. And you got to put into work to get that person to hate you.
That makes sense, bro. Yeah.
Be a better person. If I could spread a message, be a better person. And it's not hard to be a better person.
It's fucking free, bro.
It is. Like, literally, I get it. People have stuff going on in their life. I'm not sitting here trying to be this preacher, blah.
Yeah.
Just, like, look around, man. Like, we have this beautiful city right here. We're out here in downtown Santa Ana. How hard is it to just walk out and give someone a compliment about their hat or their dog? Or maybe they're in a convertible car. Oh, that's a nice car. One day I'm going to have that.
Yeah.
Simple, small things and social cues.
Exactly.
That I think, like I say, we talked about the cell phone. I think we need to figure something out with this eventually. I mean, I know we're in a technology-dependent AI world now, but it's like...
Yeah, the future is gonna be interesting, bro.
I do. We're on our way to that iRobot.
Yeah, bro.
You seen that movie?
Yeah, bro.
That's where we're
some
headed.
Scary shit,
Some
bro.
Blade Runner.
Well, y'all heard it here, man. Now, I want to thank you again, man, for stopping by.
Thank you.
Tell the people where they can find you, man.
Y'all, you can find me on all social media streaming platforms. You can find me at L_A_lifestyle.
That's right.
That's on everything: TikTok, Twitter, everything. Hot 16s is HOT_16S, which you can also find same handle on every single thing. And then, our YouTube channel too, LA Lifestyle. We record all of our radio shows live in person, and then we make them into live YouTube videos for you. So if you couldn't catch the show live on Sunday on your FM dial or on lpfm.la, you can tune in every Tuesday and Friday for parts 1 and 2 of the interview from Sunday. And man, we got some good stuff going on here. Nestor, I want to thank you, bro, for getting me out here, dog.
Brother,
And,
I appreciate you stopping by.
Dude, no problem. I love that people are starting to hit me up, and I'm glad that I'm finally starting to make an impact in this community that we call hip-hop, music, entertainment.
Exactly.
And I'm just, man, one more thing I'll say, too, is don't feel discouraged, guys. Take it from me. I lived my whole life in fear, thinking that I was going to never amend to anything. And then, I just decided to say, hey, fuck it, and fuck what people think. And,
there you go.
You don't know if you don't try.
Exactly.
Fuck around and find out. That's the bottom line is don't be afraid to take chances. I'm 750 miles away from my hometown. I moved here. I knew nobody. I had barely any money, and I've been able to get 2 radio shows, and I have my own line of shows that I do for artists.
God damn,
and in 3 years ago, I had no idea or no path of what I was going to do in my life. So don't feel discouraged, guys. Always swing for the fences because the sky is the limit. And you're in LA. We're in the land of opportunity.
There you go.
Be yourself and be proud of who you are and remember where you come from. I'm P.B.P. I'm out here on the Unborn Podcast with my guy Nestor. It's been a pleasure talking with him. And yeah, man, rock and roll.
That's right. And we're going to end the session here, guys. And again, if you guys haven't followed, go ahead and follow the Unborn Podcast. Go ahead and follow me, Next Level OC. And again, shout out to JJ, man, for letting me back. I feel back at home here in downtown Santana. Go ahead and check him out. Everything will be in the description. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hey.
Peace.
Good shit, dog.
Yeah, call me the GOAT. We are not the same. Never take float. Go against the grain. Buddy, just a host. I'm not entertained. I just want to pip and no attention, all lame. I've been going hard since the day that it came. From the AM to the PM, motherfucker better pay him. Let it working on my nerves, but the spot for a slam. Know some Tommy's in the loo. Wait for me to okay him. Okay.